Over the last several years on The Snipe Life and now on The Chosen Sleuth, I've been talking about The Chosen in Christian media and the space surrounding it. And there's often videos that I don't make when it pertains to things outside of the shows or what I actually want to talk about. I just avoid those topics altogether. However, there are some times whenever things affect the shows and they affect the outcomes of what is actually coming out from these different studios, producers, directors, etc. And so obviously in our last video, we talked about the possibility of The Chosen being delayed. We also talked about 6 ways that you could watch The Chosen, some of which you could actually do right now. So go ahead and check out that video right before this one on our channel. But this video today is talking about what we kind of glossed over and what The Chosen glossed over in their video as well, which is the legal issues that they're having to go over. Now, this isn't directly from The Chosen, so take it with a grain of salt. However, this is a news publication called Newsweek who put out an article yesterday talking about this whole issue between Angel Studios and The Chosen. Now, I'm not going to read this whole entire article to you. We are going to go over just the basics of what is actually going on here and how it could affect The Chosen overall. There's obviously a pretty serious lawsuit kind of going on here, and we have to talk about this litigation and what is going on, how it could affect The Chosen in the future. Now, this actually isn't the first time that Angel has taken a stab at The Chosen. In previous years, when they were kind of separating, going through these different things, they actually sued Brad Pello, who is the president of the company of The Chosen. So this isn't the first time. This is now a second lawsuit that is being piled on at The Chosen directly instead of at Brad Pello, who used to be a part of Angel, but is now a part of The Chosen. So let me read part of this article to you here and we'll dive into it from there. Now, this section here is incredibly important because it gives us an actual filing that's taken place this year, which is, of course, the whole genesis of what is actually going on here. While Jenkins was purposely vague in his comments, SEC filings from the show's distributor, Angel Studios, indicate a breach between The Chosen LLC and the studio, according to the filing from February. So this is February of this year, I'm assuming, of 2024 here. The Chosen LLC informed Angel Studios in April of 2023 that it intended to dissolve its content agreement due to breach of contract. Pending arbitration between the two companies in October, the Chosen LLC reiterated its intent to move on from Angel Studios. Now, so obviously this is what's causing the major delays here. The delay is the latest issue between two companies. In March 2022, Angel filed a lawsuit against Brad Pello, who was an executive of Angel before jumping ship and becoming president of The Chosen Incorporated. Since that time, the two companies came to a new agreement resolving the lawsuit. Okay, so since that time, they came to a new agreement here, but then we saw them kind of splitting after that point to where The Chosen is no longer affiliated with Angel at all, right? Now, this talks about a lot of background between Angel Studios and how well they've done with other movies. Here is an important point as well. Neither Angel Studios nor Chosen Inc. would speak to Newsweek for this report, so again, take this with a grain of salt. This is from, obviously, this is a legit news publication here, but here we're actually talking about what has happened in the past, right? And so in the 2022 lawsuit, it said Angel expected to collect as much as $2.6 billion from the 7 seasons of The Chosen, okay? So Angel Studios, this is kind of telling you what they expect to get from The Chosen overall. They're expecting this to be a very, very big moneymaker for their company, which has been huge, right? This is most likely the reason why we really haven't seen them talking about season 4 of The Chosen very much. And of course, they're not in the beginning, intro of the shows anymore or anything like that. We don't see the Angel logo or hear that song in the beginning like we did for the first 3 seasons. So obviously something has changed here. The trail of legal documents and SEC filings tell a tale of behind-the-scenes infighting that has gone on for at least 3 years, culminating with the delayed season amid legal arbitration that could take weeks, months, or even years to settle. So this is a pretty big claim. I really hope it doesn't come to this. I don't have any legal advice for anybody. I'm not a lawyer. I have no kind of understanding of what actually is going to be going on here, but this is a pretty big deal if this is actually the case, that they're going to take this long to settle, and that could mean that season 4 is delayed for much longer than I was expecting. I was expecting maybe a week, maybe something like that, but if it's going to be this long, this is pretty intense here, and I don't think that it will. I hope that it doesn't, but I honestly can't say. So the genesis of the feud, this is going back to 2013. This is giving you background on Angel Studios / VidAngel is what they used to be called. They actually had a lawsuit with Disney for their original things that they were doing, and they lost that lawsuit, and they had to pay, I believe it was $9.9 million, but that came from an original estimate of, I think, $69 million, and then they kind of wielded it down to $9.9 million that they had to pay Disney because they were using Disney's property and putting it out in an altered form. And so they actually lost that. However, this is what we're talking about now, is The Chosen Season 4 being delayed. Obviously, this is going through the YouTube video that Dallas did, just a few days ago, really. And so it's talking about everything that's kind of going on, all the stuff that he talked about, including, the money that they're bringing in and everything else. And so it shows obviously the huge increase here of money that's coming into The Chosen. So the SEC filings also show the cost of The Chosen has dramatically risen over the years. So in 2020, the cost was $8.2 million. And then in 2021, it was $20 million. And then 2022 was $47 million. And then 2023, I'm sure the SEC filings are not out yet, obviously. And so it's increased even more than that $47 million. I guarantee it's probably closer to 60, 70, maybe more than that. And so they've basically doubled or more than doubled every single season that they have done all these different things. Now, Jenkins obviously is saying that Season 4 is going to be delayed, although you can still see it in theaters, and there's some other things that go along with that. But this is a big portion here as well. The SEC documents indicate that The Chosen Inc. has limited rights to freely stream The Chosen, stipulating that it can do so on the Chosen app only if The Chosen also streams on the Angel app, which is owned by Angel Studios. So this is probably the biggest stipulation that this new lawsuit is about here. And we have to understand that obviously Angel wants to stream The Chosen on their platform because it's going to get way more eyeballs on their platform, which they want to be sort of like this faith-based Netflix type platform, right? And so they've been a part of this since the beginning. And obviously The Chosen and them have had some disagreements, and they want to be separate entities now. But Angel obviously wants some buy-in here as well. So it's a hard thing to kind of get into here. Another huge question mark in all of this, of course, is Lionsgate's involvement, how they feel about the whole thing. I'm sure they're not going to comment on it. But not to mention in this video is how its relationship with Lionsgate may be impacted, as Chosen Incorporated struck a deal last year that gave the mainstream studio certain distribution rights to The Chosen. Lionsgate did not respond to a request for comment. So anyway, so this is what we're seeing from this article here. Obviously, there is a filing that has taken place from Angel Studios to The Chosen LLC, and they're going to have to deal with that, right? It means that there's a lot of questions. Just like we said from the YouTube video earlier on, there's a lot of things that are like, well, what does that even mean? What are we waiting for? What's going on? Or how can this impact the show? Or what's actually going to happen for Season 4's release? There's a lot of questions right now. And I'm sure that for The Chosen themselves, there's a lot of questions as well. Obviously there's some stuff going on here, and nobody really has any answers other than the parties involved, and I doubt that they are ever going to come out with high details about what happens there. So we're just going to have to wait and see. We'll see what happens with all this stuff. And, it's interesting because a lot of people comment on my channel telling me that, I'm overthinking these things, or I'm going too far in saying these things. And this is a time when I wish that I was wrong. This is a time when I wish things were way more simple and there wasn't, this huge thing kind of going on here. I wish that it was better. A lot of people also will comment on my channel and say that The Chosen is ruined because it's gone to Hollywood. And I think the opposite is happening here. I think The Chosen's roots may have been planted in a bad pot, or some different things are happening with these two companies behind the scenes. And these are companies that are not, entrenched in Hollywood's ecosystem. And so it's not Lionsgate that's causing these issues. It's not the other companies that are causing these issues. It's the original companies that started this show, right? And so that's sad. It's really sad to see, for sure. But at the same time, we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, I know it'll get figured out, and we'll see from there. I'll go ahead and link this article in the description down below so you guys can read it for yourselves if you'd like. And of course, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like this video, and if you want to see more content like this, I hope not, but if you want to see more content like deep dives into The Chosen and our breakdowns, which our next breakdown for episode 8 is going to come out tomorrow, then please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and it would really help us out. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.